Friends, hello, welcome back. Happy Monday. Hopefully everybody's days has been going well. Hopefully everybody's weekend treated them well as well here. Hockey season starting up. But we are using the Vegas Golden Knights in our challenge today, where we're going to do a fantasy draft where we can only draft defensemen throughout the entirety of the draft. Now everything else, as always, we do leave off. Don't mess with anything else. Just the fantasy draft option there. And of course, injuries will be off as well, but we are ready to go. The same rule as always. We get two options. We can have the first one. We can randomize it one more time. I think, we're picking second. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. The one draft, they give us second, but we can't even take second, I don't think. We want defense. And I think, is that not the smart idea? You see, that's like McDavid, Matthews, guys like that are going in the top two spots. We don't need a second pick. We need like even a 10th would be nice, I think, here, because we can get a defender later and we can end the round. I'm worried about the second and third rounds as well here. We're randomizing it. Fourth. Oh, the one draft. This is the one time we needed a late draft pick. He's just not hitting us with that luck, I guess, right now. We're stuck with the fourth pick. It is what it is. We'll see where we're at here. McKinnon, Draisaitl, and McDavid. Again, as expected, the big horses off the list or board early there. And we're going to be stuck with defensemen. We can get Victor Hedman. That's going to be an easy slam dunk here. We're going to be guaranteed Hedman. So we can be happy about that. But we ain't going to pick for a very long time now. And we'll game with this defense. And everyone Shabbat. That's gonna tell you everything. Shabbat's gone. Seth Jones is gone. Erik Karlsson just left. Man, I'm telling you, that's what I mean. We're in the second round. If we could have just got a bet a little bit, a couple of spots back. There was some defensemen out there to grab. We're going to get one elite defender, and that might be just about it. We'll take a look, though. Hopefully not. That's not the case. We'll see. Oh, Brent Burns is out there still. Brent Burns, Shea Weber, Chris Letang, all 88s. There's some guys out here. I wonder where we go with the offensive defenseman. Do we start looking at Ekman Larson's of the world and hope they can play forward for us? He's a two-way defender these days, actually. I still like Letang, I think. 90 passing, puck control there. And Weber, 85, 87, or 80, whatever you want to say that. We can speak properly, sort of, not really. You got 91, 91 on Brent Burns. I think you have to get Brent Burns, though, because he's got the goal-scoring ability. You got to get some goal scorers on this team. And Letang and Weber are just middle of the pack there. Ekman Larson can score goals, but we're not banking on him. I think we have to go Burns here. We'll worry about everything else. Burns getting older is definitely a concern. And I think he's a guy that slides because he is older. Maybe Ekman Larson should as well for that same reason. But we'll take a look here just in case. Shea Weber's still out there. Chris Letang's still out there. They're actually leaving us these older defensemen. That's fine. We only have 1 year. I don't care if they're older or not, as long as they can play for that 1 year for us, we'll be good. But do you go Morgan Riley there instead of Shea Weber, the defensive defenseman, Chris Letang, or two-way defenseman, Chris Letang? I like Ekman Larson. I really do like Ekman Larson, like a lot. Like, yeah, he just covers checks every box off. Giordano, not so much. Morgan Riley, not so much. A better passer. You got Klingberg, who's an excellent passer. He's an offensive defenseman. We got to be careful with that, too. We got to get some combo guys. If we go somebody for the defense, we get an offensive defenseman. Do you put him on defense and get that +5, or do you put him at forward? I think we're going to go Ekman Larson here. 29. We don't want to get too many 35-year-old guys just in case they do, regress a little bit during the season. So if we can balance that out a little bit, that would be great. But we got a filthy defense. Ekman Larson, Burns. They're going to leave Shea Weber out there still for us, too. I mean, why not? They're going to leave him out there that late in the draft. I think you take him. Or Giordano. I don't like the Giordano pick, a little bit lower. Ryan Suter's even 35. Crazy. We're seeing a lot of these young or older faces of the NHL, if you want to say, for defensemen, starting to really turn the corner here. Dougie Hamilton's out there in 85 at 27. Man, I'd like a Dougie Hamilton. That would be nice, too. I think Duncan Keith slides later in the draft here. I still think I want to go Shea Weber here. Shea Weber, though, the two-way defender, he doesn't have the offensive powerhouse type of stats to go with him, though. That is one concern there. Well, you got a defensive juggernaut like that. I think we can get that out of Giordano, even out of Ryan Suter. Actually, Ryan Suter might be the way to go here. If we can combo the offensive defenseman combo here on one line, that could really help the defense, and then we worry about the offense for the rest. I kind of like that. We'll try Ryan Suter, hope that works out, but now we're going to have to start looking at offensive defensemen, and you won't see that as much later in the draft, I don't think, here, but we're still seeing Shea Weber. If they're going to leave Shea Weber out there, we keep passing up on him thinking, okay, whatever, somebody else can have him. They keep leaving him because he's older, as expected. You look for the younger guys as well. They're going to keep leaving the old guys. We'll just keep plucking them off the top of the board. That is not a problem with us right here in this situation here. Lindholm, Lindholm's a pretty solid player. Duncan Keith is a really solid offensive guy to have, I think. That's a guy we're really trying to decide when we should take him. I want to pull the trigger on Dougie Hamilton being 27, though. Even though he's an 85, he might be a top-line player for us here on the offense. Can he win the draws? We'll see. We got a while until we pick again, though, because we just swung around. That's why there's so many left on the board. That would do it. I forgot. You got to pay attention to what part of the draft that you're in here. Okay, so we're down to the 85s across the board. Duncan Keith, easy pick, though, I think. Duncan Keith, as we mentioned earlier, really like the offensive abilities Duncan Keith has here for this team. So we'll stick with Duncan Keith, and we'll take a look here. And what round do we, how many defensemen do we got now? 6, and we need what? That means we need 12 more. 12 more defensemen to have a full roster here. Yamerson, PK Subban's another one that's solid across the board, I bet. Oh, he's got decent stats. Could be a little bit better. Vlasic's another defensive defenseman that could help this defense out. Maybe. I think he's going to be around a while, though, because he's a little bit older. Muzzin might be a good option at this point in time. He's pretty balanced as well there. Do we go Muzzin? Yamerson seems to always sim up well, but he doesn't have the defensive or offensive prowess here that we're really looking for. So we're going to look at Subban. Yeah, I think we go Subban, actually. Subban, or do we go Muzzin? Subban. It's close. Actually, I kind of like Muzzin. Same age, too. They're both 31. PK Subban. It's got to be a bounce back year for him, though, right, PK? You feeling good about that? I would like to think he could. We're going to go, I don't know, it's coin toss. Same age. We're going to leave PK out there because he's $9 million and hope he swings around to us with that contract. I think we turned salary cap off, though, so that won't matter. But maybe they'll pass up on him anyway, and we can hope and pray that's the case here. We'll see. Got a couple picks here in the next 6. Let's see. Radulov's still out there, and Vlasic's still out there. I do like the Vlasic pick. Tyson Berry. That's the name. I was going to say Ted Berry. Ted Berry. Looking nice. Vlasic. Defensive defenseman. We're talking 80-85. I just don't like the stats. I love the defensive ability, but the rest concerns me a lot. Nick Leddy is looking good. I'm more of an offensive guy. I think we go Nick Leddy. 84, 29 years old. He's got a little bit better passing stats there. Again, we need some guys for the forward corps here as well. It's just not about the guys that can play defense. We got to get some guys that can score some goals for this team. So we're going to throw him on there. And let's go Chara. I don't want to go Chara. He's way too old. We're going to end it with Vlasic still at this point, I think. Spurgeon's out there. Chara, Myers, Eric Johnson. Gardner's out there. Adam Larson. Vatanen's another offensive defenseman, isn't he? He could be a guy that we could potentially try to make it work with somebody on defense. We might just take our two-way defenders and put them on offense and try to, that might be a good idea here, and then try to offensive defenseman and defensive defenseman combo those D pairs and get the most out of those guys. So we're going to pick Vlasic up and hope Vatanen swings around to us. He's probably not, though, because that's going to be a very long time until we pick again. We'll take a look, though, and hope for the best. Speaking of Devils, there went Jesper Bratt. Chara, Goligoski, yeah, they took Vatanen, didn't they? Yes, sir. Dang it. That's unfortunate. Is there any other offensive defenseman out there? Brody, maybe? I don't know if I want Brody, though. Two-way. No, he's not. There's an offensive defenseman. Justin Schultz. Schultz. We're going to give Schultz a try. Again, we're trying to make that combo work there on the defensive side. Are they going to max us out on a defense eventually? It says 10 of 10 right now. I don't know how many we can max out at. We're going to find out, I guess, right now if they're going to say, nope, no more defensemen. I don't think there's a rule on it. We don't have a goaltender. Again, I guess we'll just trade for one when the season starts. We had to do that last time. It's not really part of the theme. We'll try to trade for like an 86-ish, 85 goalie. Try to get a middle-of-the-pack goaltender there. Chara, Edler, Goligoski, Brody. No, not. See, there's an offensive defenseman or offensive defenseman. We could have made that work there. I want to try TJ Brody. I like what I'm seeing out of Brody. 30 years young. Can make it work still. Or we pick up an 84 and Edler. Edler's 34 years old as well, but he's not got the offensive abilities there. We're going to go with Brody, I think. Yeah, Brody seems nice. David Savard, can't pass up on a Blue Jacket. Great. Welcome to the squad, pal. Looking good. Happy to have you. I mean, hey, at this point, Char, even at 84 overall, 43, you might as well pick him up, try to find a spot for him on the team. I mean, why not? That guy's an absolute tank out there and a solid defenseman. As long as his overall doesn't drop too much, that's his real problem. I wanted to get Hamonic, but we took Char instead. That's all right. Hamonic fell right there. That's the reason we brought him up. But I think he can make it work for us there. Goligoski, 35. I want to go 33. Martinez, I think he can work for the team here. Here is our full lineup, though. We're going to go ahead and straighten this out. We simmed up the last 7 or 8 picks. We'll make sure those guys aren't part of the starting lineups or anything like that. We'll get all the defensemen in there. Trade for a goalie here real quickly. and we'll see how this team's looking. All right, here we go. Team's looking solid. I think Hedman's going to be a first liner. Hedman, Ekman, Larson, Grizzlick on that first line. Maybe that's going to be how this turns out. I think we're going to get it. Yeah, you'll go there. Duncan Keith, Ekman, Larson, and Hedman topping that first line over here. We'll move Muzzin up the center. There you go, Muzzin. And everything else looks good there, I guess. Justin Schultz can go there, go by overall strictly. Defense, we got the +5 on Vlasic and Burns. That's the best we could do there. And then we had Hamilton, Suter. We tried to put the combination here, the offense and defense, and EA was just having none of it from a scheme fit standpoint. Scandella and Braun. And then over on, actually, you know what? We're going to go out and sign a defensive head coach. See if that makes any difference here. At least from the defensive standpoint. I can't imagine it's going to help the offensive at all. But we got to try to win games by playing some good defense. And there it is. Happy to join a team one day. Did not take him long at all to decide on whether he wants to be here or not. That's going to be our best case scenario to win games, I think, here. I don't know why they gave us a forwards coach because it's random, but I don't think that's going to be a good idea for us. So let's take a look here. Still, Burns, Vlasic. It did not change much there, it appears. Suter, still decent. I don't know why we're not getting a better combo here. Am I missing something? Offense and defensive defensemen. They got decent chemistry there, but for some reason, it still is not working out for those two. I think we're going to try to move Justin Schultz here real quickly. Justin Schultz, you're off the team. You are voted off of the island. We're going to put in, I don't know, David Savard. Why not? Sounds great. And we're going to see if Justin Schultz would be the better option instead of Dougie Hamilton on that second unit. If that would +3 that at all. And it will not, it appears. See, that's, I would like to think. Maybe it's Ryan Suter. Ryan Suter's chemistry is killing us here. So we're just going to have to stick with Dougie Hamilton there. We'll put Justin Schultz back where he was on offense. And we're just going to see how this team loads up. It's going to be tough. I imagine, again though, it depends how EA looks at the overalls and how guys simmed up. A lot of these defensemen have decent stats. They really do. They're not that bad. And by the way, goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury, who we got there when he traded for him. 87 on the goalie there. And everything else, again, it's good. We can't really get too excited here about anything. It is what it is, what we got. Special teams, power play, Duncan Keith, Burns. We probably get rid of Braun and put somebody a little bit, I don't know, Letty up there possibly. We'll put Letty up there and see how that goes. Burns, Braun again. Again, we'll put, I don't know, Duncan Keith on the unit. Better player than Braun, I would have to say, on the power play. We should be good. We'll go ahead and start this sim up here. See how these guys play. I still like our chances. We went through that entire draft, and again, it helped a lot being that you can take anybody, any age, and a lot of teams will pass up on the older guys, and that helped a lot. But we had, what, everybody's practically 80 plus, 81, 82 plus on this team across the board. Can they out-defense their opponents? That's the question. When you got a team like this, I would expect low-scoring games. Fleury should be able to help. We'll see. The question is, can we muster across enough goals? I mean, it's like using a Blue Jackets here. We'll probably score 1 goal a game, maybe 2. Actually, we're giving up quite a few here. 3 goals allowed there, 3 there. We can't be allowing that many goals, fellas. I'm just going to throw it out there. We are not going to win a lot of games allowing 4 and 3 goals with a team of all defensemen. It's not looking good, fellas. It is not looking good for the Vegas Golden Knights. 14, 35, and 3. We are in January, and the all defense, it's clearly not going to work. I wanted to believe this team can go out there, lock some teams down, potentially win some games. But when you put all defenders on offense, and I think what really killed this team, it was the chemistry. It was plus or -3, -2 on every single offensive line. So if there was any sort of hope that those guys could build a little chemistry, play well together, that kind of killed it right off the get-go there. And this team's going to be a dead last team playing for the #1 overall pick going into next year's draft. All things considered, this far into the season, about 40 losses. And that is a bookend on the season for the Vegas Golden Knights, a team that finished with an amazing, I want to say 23 wins. We'll take a look here real quickly before we jump into the points. 22, 52, and 8 were these Vegas Golden Knights. Very nice. 52-point season. Not bad. Not bad at all. Point percentage, 31%. Decent. Goals for 1.93. 3.34 goals against. It should not have been that bad. Did it have a little bit to do with the fact you'd still, I get it, it's defensemen, but they feel to possess the puck a little bit. That's probably what hurt them. If I had to guess, 12% of the power play definitely didn't help. See, that's what doesn't make sense to the penalty. Oh, you know what else it was? The face-off. 76% in the penalty kill. We probably didn't win hardly any face-off draws this season. That kind of really hurt the possession metrics. I didn't really think that one through as well there. There was a lot to get over here from an all-defenseman standpoint. 88 overall, Brent Burns went with a -25 and 58 points. So we didn't get really any offensive juggernauts on the defenseman's side here. Ekman Larson, I mean, they didn't do terrible, but you just had, it was, too top-heavy. You had a couple guys do really good, and everybody else was middle of the pack, bottom of the pack there, and you really can't afford that in this type of season. Take a look here at the faceoff percentage. He was taking a draws this season. 39%. It wasn't actually that bad. Ekman Larson, 39. 46 there. 43 here. What are these guys' faceoff ratings for doing this? 55. Decent. Sure, good for them. 48 out of Ryan Suter. I don't know. I would have thought the possession. There's a really bad right there. 470 by it's face-off taken for Martinez. I would have thought that had a big factor in this for these guys struggling, but really it was. I don't consider 43, 42 that bad. I mean, it's bad, but I don't think it's bad where you say it's gonna have a big skew on the possession metrics from a video game simming standpoint. 66 on a giveaways, 33 takeaways, 74 by 36, 62 by 50. Some decent numbers there from a defensive standpoint. I'm surprised that the defense was just that bad, if anything. 906 out of Marc-Andre Fleury, 896 out of Pekka Rinne. I expected fully the 1.9 goals something per game or whatever. I did not expect the 3.3 goals against. I thought we'd be closer in the mid to low twos to be competitive. But unfortunately, all defensemen couldn't get the job done here today. As for this video, guys, as always, I appreciate you consider subscribing, liking the video. You never have to, though. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.